All right.
All right, so it says given the word,
Probability.
all right, so given the word probability, that is P R O B A I T Y. Just check my spelling there.
Probability. Yeah, this is correct.
Okay, given the word probability,
Question A is determine the number of different ways that the letters can be arranged.
A, determine the number of different ways that the letters can be arranged. So with these words, right, when it comes to words, it's always, they're asking for a probability, right? So no, they're asking for the number of times the word can be rearranged. So they're asking
Yeah.
for how many letters here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They're looking for how many 11 letter words you can make using this thing, essentially, right? So you
Yeah.
have 11 spots. And so you would use that, you'd write that as, let me do it the long way so you can see. There's 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So if I chose
Yeah.
a letter at random, let's say I chose R, right? That means
Yeah.
initially, or rather, let me put it like this. Initially, I have 11 letters to choose from. So my probability is 11. My choices are 11. And let's say I make
Yeah.
a choice and I choose R. So now I've got
Yeah.
10, and it's going to go all the way down. And that's how you write to factorial. So it's going to be 11 factorial, correct?
Yeah. Yes,
But
sir.
this word probability has repetitions, right? There are words that
Yeah.
repeat, or letters that repeat. B
B and
repeats
I. Yeah.
and I repeats. So there's two sets of repeating letters, right? So what you're gonna
Oh, so we
do
write it in a fraction and then we say 2 factorial times 2 factorial.
over, yes. So for B, there's two B's factorial times
Yeah.
two I's factorial, and then that's what's gonna give you what is that in the 11 factorial times 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial times 2 factorial. That gives us 9979 200. 9,979 and 200. Okay,
Or
179,200. Okay, what's B?
B is if the word has to start with a B, how many different ways can the word be arranged?
Okay, so here I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? So how many B's do we have? We have one B. So there's only the probability of starting with a B, there's only one B there. It's one that we can start with. Right? We have two B's. So this was something that confused me a bit, right? We have two options for B, right? But the thing is, especially when we work it out like this, we eliminate these double B's, which is why we don't include them when we're writing for this probability here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put one there. And it's not allowed to repeat, right?
Mm.
Say question B again. What's the question?
If the word has to start with a B, how many different ways can the word be arranged?
Okay, and is it repeating? It's not allowed to repeat.
Um, let me see. Yeah. It has it repeats.
Well, you're allowed repetition.
Yeah.
Okay, that means we worked this out, this one here incorrectly, because if you're allowed repetitions, this is equal to 11 factorial, right? Or
Yeah.
11 times 11 times 11, each one has an 11. So your sum would actually be 11 to the power 11 over 2 factorial and 2 factorial. All right. If it's allowed to repeat, because for each letter you can repeat, right? So you have 11 choices there, 11 choices there, 11 choices there, 11 choices there, all the way through. Are you with me?
Oh, yeah.
Um, let's see. So here, if it's allowed to repeat, we only have one choice there for B, but now we have 10 letters left. And if it's allowed to repeat, it's 10, 10, 10, 10. So we have 1 times 10 to the power 10. And they want the probability, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so probability works in fractions. It is the total possibilities, right, over the specific scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Our specific scenario is 1 times 10 to the power 10. And our total possibilities would be 11 to the power 11.
All right.
Are you with me?
I see. I see.
And so what's that in your calculator?
1 times 10, 10, it's 0,035.
0.04.
So it's 3,5%.
So there's a 4% chance, roundabout, approximately 4% chance that something like that happens.
Yeah.
If I'm rounding up, right? Because I'm using 2
Yeah.
decimal places. But then,
Mm-hmm.
all right. So with that in mind, we can move on. What's question B? I mean C.
Question C is, what is the probability that the word starts with a B?
What is the probability that the word starts with a B, right?
Yeah.
Probability, and it's allowed to repeat.
It's not allowed to repeat.
Okay, so our specific scenario is going to be, you have it's exactly what we just worked out here though. No?
What do you mean?
And in B, we asked the word has to start with B. How many chances are there that it starts with a B, right?
Yeah.
I think, you know what? I think you need to do it like this. So I'm uncertain here now, right? Because if it's allowed to repeat, then I rate this is allowed.
Oh, okay.
Please check with your teacher if you can about this, Neb, because if it's allowed to repeat, because I know for sure if it's not allowed to repeat, you're going to start with 1 there. You're going to start with 1 there.
Yeah.
But if it is allowed to repeat, then you have to, I think I rate, you have a 2 there, and then your 10s and your 10s and your 10s and your 10s. That's one thing as well.
All right.
But then, do you know what it is, Nem? What I suggest, in order to get the full grasp of this thing and where all of these things come from, right? There's a YouTuber, or is it Kevin Matz or Kyle Matz? He's a South African YouTuber. I can
Kevin Smith.
Do you know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a series on the grade 12 probability, and he does go from like, it's not a lot of videos, it's about 14 videos. It should take you about an hour, maybe just a little bit less, to kind of go through. He goes through all the examples. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, and he should be able to explain that, because now I don't want to lie to you and tell you that if it is repeating, then you still use 1. All right.
All right. Noted.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Are you okay with the code questions where they ask you to create a code?
No. Code
Okay.
questions.
So they'll give you a question like, okay, they say there's a 7-character code. Put this here. There's a 7-character code. The first two characters will have to be a number between 1 and 9, and the rest of them can be one of the letters from A to Z, all right? And then they say repetition is allowed. Allowed. Okay. They do cover these questions in detail in the series I just told you about, all right? Vulombe, you're gonna get this video too. So I do, I'm saying Vulombe, Lifatsi, you're gonna get this video too. So I do suggest you check them out as well. All right, so essentially we have a code with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. These first two have to be numbers and the rest have to be letters. So how many, and repetitions allowed? How many choices are we allowed for the first digit? How many choices do we have from 1 to 9? How many digits are there from 1 to 9?
There's 2.
Nah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 9 of them.
Oh.
So that's the number of choices we have. So we have 9 choices to pick from for this first digit.
Yeah.
We're allowed to repeat. So for the second digit, we also have 9 choices. And then these next ones, they have to be letters. There are 26 letters in the alphabet. So we have 26 choices. We're allowed to repeat. So it's 26, 26, 26, and 26. So our chances is 9 squared. Our possibilities are 9 squared times 26 to the power 5, which is a very big number. That's how you find that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They can tell you things like the repetition isn't allowed. So if repetition isn't allowed, you do it like this. For the first digit, we have 9 digits, 9 choices. The second one, we've already used one. So now we have 8. And then here you'd have 26. You're going to use one. So 25. You're going to use another 24. You're going to use another 23. You're going to use another 22. So it's times. And this is when you're not allowed to repeat. You're using some, so you can't repeat them, right? So it's going to be 9 times 8, right? Times 26 times 25 times 24 times 23 times 22. All right, so you write that out. I'm actually very lazy to write it out. So I usually write it out like this. If it confuses you, let me know, I'll stop there. I write it as 26 factorial divided by 21 factorial. Because 26 factorial divided by this, the 21 factorial cancels all these other parts here and leaves just this. So it's a shorter thing to write. But if it confuses you, just write everything out. Just write everything out. You have 9 times 8 times 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, and then you don't have it divided by anything, and then you get your answer there.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't have anything else right now.
All right. How are you feeling about the test, mate?
About the test, I feel like I can manage when it comes to number patterns, sequence and series.